There's a moment every teacher and learner encounters when writing stops being an academic task and starts becoming something human. A diary entry that captures a feeling, a note sent to a friend abroad, a blog post that makes someone think, a message written not for a grade, but for meaning. Today, we dive deep into that transformation, the journey from writing as a classroom exercise to writing as self-expression, communication, and empowerment. Because if you think writing is only about essays and grammar points, think again. We often treat writing as the final frontier in language learning, the last skill to develop after listening, speaking, and reading. But in truth, writing can be one of the most powerful tools through which learners discover their voice, their confidence, and even their cultural identity. Think about it. When a learner writes, they're not just combining words, they're organizing thoughts, structuring ideas, and negotiating meaning. Writing is the art of thinking aloud on paper. It's where internal monologue becomes visible, and where identity in a second language starts to take form. Now, as I always say, sit comfortably, get your coffee, and let's get started.
Woo! Let's go!
Let's go back for a moment to how we teach writing. In most classrooms, it starts with structure, the 5-paragraph essay, the topic sentence, the thesis statement, the supporting details, and conclusion. And yes, structure is important. But when writing instruction becomes only about format, students lose sight of why they're writing in the first place. The result? Essays that are grammatically correct but emotionally hollow. Papers that follow every rule but say nothing real. And learners who begin to believe that writing is just an exam requirement, not a human need. But what if we started teaching writing differently? What if before we ask learners to write an essay, we ask them to write something that matters to them? Imagine a classroom where students write a message to their future self, or a letter to their younger siblings in another country, or a story that reimagines a cultural tale from their hometown, or even a review of a movie that touched them deeply. Suddenly, the purpose changes, the motivation shifts, the writing breathes. Writing for purpose means understanding the why before the how. It's about making writing communicative, personal, and real. Even a simple postcard, a short social media caption, or a classroom blog post can be far more meaningful than a perfectly structured essay with no soul. When learners see that their words can connect, influence, or comfort someone, they start caring about writing naturally. The corrections stop feeling like criticism. They become tools to refine what they want to express. Now, let's talk about something crucial here. Voice. Many language learners fear writing because they think they need to sound native. But voice doesn't come from perfection. It comes from authenticity. A Korean student once wrote to me, "Teacher, my English is not perfect, but my feelings are real." And that line, so honest, so raw, was better than any advanced vocabulary she could have memorized. That's what writing for purpose is about. Helping learners realize that their imperfect English, Spanish, French, or any other language is still theirs. It's bridge between their inner world and the world outside. Now, let's also rethink feedback. This is for all of you teachers. Traditional correction often focuses on form, red marks, grammar notes, awkward phrasing. But when we're teaching writing for purpose, feedback must evolve. Instead of you use the wrong tense, we can say, your story made me curious. Can you tell me more about what you felt in that moment? Or, I love how you describe the smell of your hometown. Try expanding that image. This kind of response doesn't just fix mistakes, it builds writers. Moving on. Let's look at how writing for purpose aligns with real-world literacy. We live in a digital world. Students today write more than any generation before. Text messages, posts, captions, emails, online discussions, and more. The irony? Most of this writing isn't recognized in language classrooms. Fair enough. When was the last time you saw a writing test that asked students to reply to a WhatsApp message, compose an Instagram post, or write a YouTube comment in a respectful, thoughtful way? That's all authentic writing, yet we rarely value it. As educators, we should integrate digital writing into your pedagogy. Let students write emails to imaginary clients, blog posts about their culture, or script for short videos, or even comments analyzing a TED Talk. The point is not just linguistic accuracy, it's communicative relevance. Let's also consider creative writing as a form of language development. Storytelling, poetry, dialogue, they aren't luxuries. They're learning laboratories. When learners invent characters, they experiment with voices, emotion, and tenses. When they write poems, they explore rhythm and metaphor. And when they script dialogues, they practice conversational tone and pragmatics. A student once told me, when I write stories in English, I feel like I'm becoming another version of myself. That's the beauty of multilingual writing. It allows identity play. It's not about replacing your native self. It's about expanding it. But writing for purpose also includes academic authenticity. Yes, essays and research writing have their place as well. But they should be seen as part of a broader writing ecosystem, not the entire landscape. Instead of telling students, write a 250-word essay about climate change, what if we say, imagine you're writing a letter to a local newspaper about an environmental issue you care about. Convince readers to act. The format changes, but so does the motivation. The student writes not for a grade, but for impact. And let's not forget reflective writing. Journals, portfolios, and learning diaries. When learners reflect on their progress, challenges, and emotions in writing, they develop metacognition, the ability to think about their own thinking. They start noticing patterns, recognizing strategies, and taking ownership of their learning journey. A reflective learner might write, this week I learned that I need to read aloud to improve my fluency. I feel nervous, but it helps. That's language awareness and emotional awareness in one sentence. So, how do we help students move beyond essays and tests? Here are a few strategies teachers can try tomorrow. First, start with purpose, not format. Before giving any task, Ask, why should students care about this? Second, use real audiences. Post class writing on a shared blog, or send letters to partner schools. Writing becomes real when someone reads it. Third, integrate genres. Mix formal with informal, creative with academic. Let students experience the full spectrum of writing. Fourth, respond as readers, not just as graders. Focus feedback on meaning, emotion, and message before mechanics. Fifth, celebrate multilingual voices. This is for all of you out there. Allow code switching, reflection in native languages, or bilingual journals. Writing should include the writer's whole self. At its core, writing for purpose is a human act, a bridge between thought and connection. It's the way we make sense of our world and share it with others. In language learning, it transformed the classroom into a space of identity, empathy, and self-discovery. So next time your student writes a text, a story, or a simple paragraph, remember, you're not teaching them how to write English. You're helping them learn how to exist through it. Because language isn't just learned, it's lived. And writing is one of the most beautiful ways to live it. Until next time, keep writing with purpose and let your words find their way beyond the classroom walls.